If you're hoping for some wise, peaceful closure post, just go read literally any other sub. If you ever wondered what it looks like when someone finally snaps, buckle up. This is where it goes from awkward to ugly. So, after all that BS with Lena and Gustavo, see last post. I spent 2 days keeping everything low-key. I didn't blow up. I didn't even bring it up. I just watched them, listened, made notes on my phone. It's wild how fast people get cocky when they think you're clueless. Lena started leaving her laptop open like she wasn't hiding anything. Gustavo started showing up every afternoon, eating my food, leaving his dirty socks in the living room like he owned the I swear there was a day I came home and they were both sitting on the couch watching some trashy YouTube drama. Share a bag of chips, barely even looked up. I just walked in, dropped my bag, and went to my room. I think Lena muttered something about me being moody. She was always saying I was too sensitive, but the way she said it then felt like a test. Next morning, I noticed the Wi-Fi was running slow. I checked the router, and some random device was connected. Gustavo must have given the password to a friend or something because there was a new phone on the list. Later, I found a beer can under the couch that wasn't mine. I texted Gustavo, and he just sent back a laughing emoji. So, yeah, they were getting real comfortable. I could have just kicked them both out right then, but I wanted them to feel it. I wanted them to see what happens when you treat someone like they're a joke. So I started planning. Nothing illegal. I'm not trying to get arrested for people who'd sell me out for a free lunch, but I wanted it to hurt. First, I called my landlord. We're not friends or anything, but he's always been chill if you're honest with him. I let him know that Lena wasn't on the lease and that my guest, Gustavo, had basically moved in without permission. He asked if I wanted to file an official complaint. I said not yet, but I wanted it on record. He said he'd handle it if I wanted them both out, just needed it in writing. Then he tells me I can change the locks with his approval as long as I give notice to Lena to remove her stuff. I say that's fine. I'll handle the notice. Then I went home and started packing. Not all at once, just little by little. Every time Lena left for the gym or to run errands, aka probably meet Gustavo somewhere. I boxed up her clothes, her shoes, her stupid ring light, all her bathroom stuff. Literally everything that wasn't mine. I left her phone chargers tangled up. Didn't even bother to wrap them. I found Gustavo's hoodie in the closet and threw it in one of the boxes too. I left all the boxes by the front door. That night, when Lena got home, she saw them and goes, "What's all this?" I said, "You'll see." She tried to laugh it off, but her face was tight. I just shrugged and went back to scrolling on my phone. She started texting furiously, probably Gustavo. She slammed the bedroom door. Next day, I set up the group chat with my family, just me, my parents, Gustavo, and Lena. I sent a photo of the boxes and a message. Lena's moving out. Gustavo and Lena don't come to my place unless you've got a reason. If anyone wants to know why, ask them, not me. My dad replied with a question. My mom called me asking what happened. I just told her, ask Gustavo. I'm done explaining. Lena started crying, literally crying, begging me not to do this. She tried to grab my arm, and I pulled away. She slapped me. I told her to get out. She started throwing stuff in the hallway. I didn't care. I told her she had 2 days to pick up her stuff, or I was donating it. Gustavo showed up 30 minutes later, banging on the door, yelling at me to open up. I didn't. He started yelling through the door, saying I was ruining everything, that I was overreacting. He tried to push his way in when I cracked open the door, so I shoved him back and slammed it. He kicked the door and left. My phone started blowing up. Texts from my mom, my dad, even some random cousin in another city. Lena was apparently calling everyone she could, saying I was kicking her out with nowhere to go. I just kept repeating, not my problem. I told my landlord to schedule a lock change for the next day. He said okay. Lena tried to sneak back in that night, but I was sitting on the couch waiting. She tried to guilt me, said she had nowhere else to go. That Gustavo promised her it would be fine. I told her to call him and figure it out. She left, slamming the door. The last straw was when I saw Gustavo waiting outside the building the next morning. He tried to follow me out, got in my face, shoved me. I shoved him back, told him to leave. He tried to say I was ruining the family, that I was acting crazy. I just laughed. I told him he was never getting a key again. He threatened to tell my parents everything. I said, go ahead. I already did. When Lena came for her stuff, she tried to take my speaker and my old PS4. I told her to put them back. She started yelling, so I just started recording on my phone. She backed down. She started crying again. Said she had nowhere to go, that Gustavo was supposed to take care of her. I said, that's his problem now. They both ended up in the hallway crying, calling my name, begging me to open the door. I just sat on the couch and turned up the TV. I heard Gustavo kick the wall. Lena was sobbing. I didn't say anything else since then. My phone's been blowing up. Random numbers, people from Lena's side, even old friends I barely talk to. I just keep blocking. I gave my parents a basic explanation. Gustavo and Lena try to play me. They're out. End of story. My dad just said, all right, your house, your rules. My mom wants me to be the bigger person, but I'm done with that. So, yeah, that's where it stands. I didn't just cut them off. I made sure they knew exactly what it cost. I'm not sorry. If anything, I wish I'd done it sooner. More if anyone cares. Not sure what comes next, but I'm not just letting it slide. Final update. So it's been a few days since everything blew up. And honestly, I feel weirdly numb. Not even in a deep way. Just like I keep waiting for the next thing, and all that comes is more noise. It's not dramatic, it's just annoying now. And yeah, I'm still mad. If you were rooting for a big family hug or some forgiveness thing, you really don't know how people work when it's real life, not some sitcom. First thing I noticed, my phone basically turned into a spam machine. I'd wake up to like 20 missed calls, half of them just random numbers from apps I didn't even recognize. One was a landline. Like, who even has a landline? I ignored all of it at first. Figured Lena and Gustavo would get bored. Move on. But every hour was something else. Texts, calls, voicemails, even emails. Lena left a handwritten note at my door, folded up and stuck under the mat. I tossed it in the trash without reading it. I'm not interested in her side. Even weirder, people I barely talked to started reaching out. Harlow texted me, said Lena messaged him at 2 a.m., begging him to tell me to unblock her. Some old friend from high school DM'd me on Insta. He said Gustavo asked if there was any way to get through to me. I haven't talked to this guy in years. I guess they're trying every angle, but I'm not biting. My parents got dragged into it too, which I kind of expected. My mom called, said Lena came by their place crying. Wanted to explain. Dad asked if I really needed to be so cold. I told him I'm not doing anything. I'm just done. Mom tried to say maybe I was overreacting, but then she talked to my landlord, who she knows from way back, and found out what actually happened. Gustavo tried to get on the lease without telling me. Lena tried to move her stuff back in after I boxed it. Landlord had to tell her to leave. After that, my parents mostly stopped taking sides. They're not thrilled, but they're not backing Lena or Gustavo either. Gustavo's been blowing up the group chat, ranting about how I ruined his life and how he's homeless now. He tried to guilt trip my dad, but dad just said, "You made your bed." Gustavo got mad and left the chat for a day, then came back with a string of voice messages. I didn't listen till I just deleted them. Lena's been quieter, but she sent a bunch of crying emojis, then called me from a new number. I blocked it. Lena tried to come back one more time, this time with her mom. I was in the kitchen and heard voices in the hallway. So I opened the door and said, "You're not coming in." Her mom tried to say Lena just needed a minute to get closure. I told her not happening. You had weeks to get your stuff. It's gone now. Lena started yelling. I told her to stop. She tried to push past me. I blocked her with my arm. Her mom started crying too. I just shut the door. They stood out there for a while, then left. Heard from a neighbor later that night that Gustavo had been in the parking lot yelling on the phone, saying I destroyed his family. Not my problem. He could have just not been a snake, but I guess that's too hard for some people. I did get one call that kind of made me pause. My cousin called, said Gustavo was trying to crash at his place, but he said no. Apparently, Gustavo burned him on some money last year, so he's not interested in getting screwed again. Cousin asked if I was okay. I said, yeah, just tired. He said good. Don't let them back in. Lena lost her job apparently because she put my address on all her paperwork and now she can't prove where she lives. I didn't do anything to make that happen, but she tried to blame me. I just said maybe ask Gustavo for help. Gustavo, meanwhile, is couch surfing with some friend who's already sick of him. He texted me from a new number.